This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started.
I love Luca's little voice there. Hello and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I am your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is the bashful blue-eyed bomber from the Burger Fits.
Fill me in, Perich.
Welcome, Philip, once again to another fun-filled, fact-filled Fantasia of Fandom, also known as Superconnectivity.
Thank you.
And goodness, there is fandom to be had. We are going to talk the new Harley Quinn on Sunday with the rest of the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Phil's not feeling it.
I have no hopes. Hey, it can impress me. I'm going in with an open mind. If it's...
Okay.
I mean, Tyler already saw it. He texted me, and no spoilers, but he said he liked it. He liked it. So.
Oh wow, Tyler liked it.
Yes,
Tyler liked it. Tyler's like Mikey.
Oh, I know.
He's not going to like it if it's not comics accurate.
No, the true acid test. Well, I think I'm going tomorrow morning, and I believe Lilith is going either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. So the real acid test will be Miss Lilith Hellfire.
Oh, Lilith doesn't like it. Lilith she doesn't even like Riverdale, and she's an Archie's fan, so she's
an old curmudgeon in a young girl's body. Yes.
Yeah. That's I'm a young girl in a curmudgeon's body. So it's like we swap bodies and minds and souls, like some kind of like 70s situation comedy movie or something. Anyway,
speaking of a sitcom, hey, did you see that WandaVision footage?
Well, yeah, I mean that is like the most fascinating aspect of the entire thing is of that. Here's what's coming to Disney Plus from Marvel. It's like Winter Soldier,
yes, and
Falcon, some cool stuff, and then WandaVision, and then 3 seconds of Loki. No one has really said anything about poor Falcon and Winter Soldier. We love you guys.
Yeah, but I think it's like there's questions about what WandaVision and Loki are going to be. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be great, but you kind of know what you're getting, like a spy thriller. You kind of know what you're getting.
You do, and you do think it is going to tie into Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of theories out there about Black Widow. Matt Pat has a theory that the Taskmaster will in fact be one of the other Black Widows. He does this based on the height. He says they're shorter than Crimson Guardian, which suggests that they might be that. And you do see when the Black Widow and Taskmaster do the moves together, they're at the same height. So,
I thought maybe in Black Widow we get a shot of just Taskmaster training some Russians or something.
Well, it's all about height. And so if you're working on the height, and Matt Pat, he loves his maths. He's a maths guy. And, so he says, well, you can look at this and this, and this shows that the actual height of this character is likely shorter, which would mean that it might not be our traditional male Tony Masters, who is like 6'2". He actually has a physical structure similar to a Captain America.
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, they gave us a gender swap on the Ghost and Ant-Man and Wasp, so. Oh,
yeah, and it worked out nicely. I'm hoping they don't do a Black Widow tie-in for it. I mean, I'm cool. Here, I am very cool with a female Taskmaster. I don't even think that's the first time they've done that. I actually think Taskmaster might be female in the Ultimate Universe.
I know in that Deadpool Max that series, the Lilith and I were covering, they had a female Taskmaster.
Yeah, I know they've done it before, so I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, no.
I would rather not the Taskmaster's origin. First off, I've always liked the Taskmaster's origin being much more like the Joker's, kind of ambiguous. What was it? I mean, although I like the origin that we eventually got with Tony Masters, or even his like original kind of story origin of the boy with the photographic reflexes. If you go into a whole Russian experiment thing, I just think it takes away from that a bit, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I see what you're throwing down, and I think I agree with you. It's like, you don't have to tie everybody to everything. You could just be like, hey, well, man or woman, this person has this ability, so hey, why don't I make a buck off it?
Well, exactly. And you know what? Fun idea. If you really want to leave it ambiguous, you could actually have Taskmaster be your first mutant. And speaking of mutants, we do have Wanda Maximoff in all of this. Who's what we're seeing here is a lot of fun. But I realized spoilers, get some words about to be marked. I've cracked the code of what is happening here. And, shout out to all my other theorists, friends out there in the YouTube land who give me inspirations to all of this. New Rockstars had this idea that basically she's sort of navigating the mind of the Vision. And, of course, we already have the idea that she's in the, this is tying into the Multiverse of Madness. But then what really kicks it for me is I was thinking about the TVA, which, the Tennessee Valley Authority, which is a New Deal project which ties to Captain America, which is why we're gonna get the answers to what happened with Captain America at the end of Endgame in Loki, because I get the feeling that the entire reason there is a time variance authority is because of Endgame.
Oh yeah, because Thanos and all these stupid humans are messing with time, and those,
everyone's jumping it. It's like for 1 billion years we had time, and then all of a sudden
they're just fracturing that timeline.
They're just like cool. It's not a good thing. You don't hit that timeline with a hammer.
In the words of Lilith Hellfire,
making sweet, sweet love to the timeline.
Except it's not sweet. It is the angry,
dirty,
angry love. I don't know if you've ever had angry love. It's rough, but it can be good.
Wham bam, thank you time. Wham bam, thank you time stream.
Yeah, it's this is no Barry Allen time stream. Love making. That's a man who takes who's gentle and then apologizes.
I don't know about that.
So quickly. No, I get the feeling that we're going to get that. Basically, there's going to be a reference in Loki about, all of a sudden Captain America's living in the past as he's living in the future, and it's not good. Got 2 Captain Americas in one timeline because he wants to get back, and it's like, you're killing us here.
Do you think, we'd have to wait for probably Loki for the whole explanation, but do you think time variance authority could be a reason why could that be Black Widow in the present? Just be like, to fix the timeline, they just like put her back or whatever.
It's entirely possible. Or, you want a fun idea? Do you recall the most famous Ranger of all? When She-Hulk had to argue, She-Hulk, another Marvel TV show coming soon. When She-Hulk had to argue a case in the Time Variance Authority, she got to bring back one-time anomaly as fee for her things. That's how I believe it was the Two-Gun Kid. Two-Gun Kid got brought to I can't remember if it's the Two-Gun Kid or the Rawhide Kid.
Oh.
It was one of the 2 kids. But that's how he got to be the future in the Avengers as a bounty hunter now with the guns and riding Hawkeye's old flying motorcycle. What if, as he's busting out of the Time Variance Authority, he needs help and he gets Black Widow?
No.
Or something that, so once you've been put in the Time Variance Authority, it's like, yeah, we can bring anything at a time. But that actually brings us to the basic question of the Soul Stone in general and the idea that what is causing the Multiverse of Madness. Because I think all of this stuff we're seeing right now, this is Marvel Phase 5. Or phase, what phase are we in now? 6, 7, 22?
I don't know.
That this is because it all seems to be tying really closely together, especially if we're going to tie in the Black Widow into the whole knitting of Kevin Feige's mad multiverse. Because as we start to break it down, you can see this idea that Thanos destroyed the stones in this universe. The stones were brought back into this universe, but then left this universe. Again, had to go be put back where they came. But as we know, the stones are matter and energy that can neither be created nor destroyed, and they are tied to this universe. So they are going to reform in this universe. Where are they going to reform? Perhaps when the two beings most attuned to the stones have merged, Vision and the Scarlet Witch.
Ooh.
And so what is happening, and this is where Scarlet Witch gets her reality manipulation powers in this universe, because she's bringing all of the Infinity Stones into herself to reform them, to bring back the Vision. Because if you think about it, what does the Scarlet Witch want? She wants Vision back. And there's no way to bring him back. And you're going to see at the start, maybe you're going to see, or wherever, somewhere in the story it's going to be seen, how we can't bring back the Vision. We can't, maybe we're going to get Shuri in there. Maybe we're going to get whatever we're going to get.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm sure your theory's probably right. That it has something to do with the stones or something. Or her powers, something exotic like that's going to bring the Vision back. But I mean, it's like, didn't the Vision come from Ultron, who was created basically by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, with the stone and stuff? But it's just like, you can't get Shuri and Black Panther and whoever else is in there to fix it. Between the world's smartest minds, you can't fix the Vision.
Well, if you really want to go into all of it, there's the stone.
Yes.
And then there's Mjolnir.
Yes.
Which is destroyed.
Yes.
Cosmic powered lightning, called by Thor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole lot of factors that bring the Vision online. It's not just Banner and Tony and Jarvis.
Unless they go that storyline where they can bring him back, but he's all motionless and white.
well, and people have brought the point, which I think is a little, when everyone says, "Oh, remember he turned black and white when they pull out the stone." Except no, he doesn't. He just stops radiating light.
Mm-hmm.
He stops radiating light. Now he's just sort of matte. It's
yes.
He's more dim.
And all right, and I beg you, Kevin Feige, I know it's pure fan service, but at least one of those stones take a new form, like a cube shape?
Well, one already went into a cube.
I know, but we really didn't get see it used as like a cosmic cube.
No, but then again, if you think about it, it's like, what, 6 Infinity Stones, right?
Yes.
How many sides are on a cube, Philip?
6.
So when Scarlet Witch is bringing them together, 6 sides of a cube, cosmic cube, Infinity Stones, whop, 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 yeah. And then you get a Beyonder.
I was going to say, then it evolves, yes.
Exactly. And I guess for me, that's the whole thing of it. It's like, I think Kevin Feige knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Call me just a wide-eyed optimist. I get the feeling people know what they're doing over there right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and God bless DC. I think they're finally getting it right. I think DC, from what I'm hearing about Birds of Prey.
We'll see.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you, Philip. You may hate it because they didn't do Nightwing's butt right.
No.
Whatever your little fanboy complaint's going to be.
I'm open-minded. I'm just saying, we'll see. Just their previous track record. There's been some hits and misses, so we'll see.
True. But like I said, I don't think anything's been getting the buzz that this has been. Because here's the thing. We're at a point of female-led superhero films that we can just say some are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's going to say at this point that if this one was bad, this is the one that everyone's going to say, yeah, this is the bad one.
Mm.
This is like, Harley Quinn is not cool. She's all got her derriere out there, in a way that people don't like in some circles. There's reasons that if one of them was going to be bad, and people were going to say this was the bad one. This is the one that you could have gotten away with saying this was the bad one.
Hey, you know,
Suicide Squad was not well loved. You know, this was the one that you could really get away with saying was the bad one. And we're not getting that.
Hey, I'm a fan of DC and Marvel. I want their movies to work, but and maybe this one will be better than Suicide Squad because there is no Jared Leto Joker in it. So
I don't think Jared Leto Joker was that bad. I think what was the problem with Jared Leto Joker was they tried to shoehorn him into a film that wasn't a Joker film.
It was the material they gave him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like I feel for poor old Jared Leto. What's Jared Leto doing now? He just did something, didn't he, recently? He's in some kind of thing where he's doing something good for himself.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about another movie or?
Yeah, I thought Jared Leto, isn't he?
Let me see.
Isn't he in something? I don't know. Anyway, but God bless Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah. Morbius.
There we go. Jared Leto is our new Morbius. What's he doing that's like not horrible? Because Morbius doesn't look horrible. I mean, I get, you know, like I said, I'm not quite sure about him deciding to keep the mustache, but, you know, but I always felt, like I said, I think that's his homage to where he's come from, and Cesar Romero also a Joker. Not everybody is in love with, not everybody likes Cesar Romero's Joker.
But too, in some stories, does Morbius have, I don't know, some mustache or just like a goatee or something?
He's from the 70s. Everyone
in
the 70s. Except for Spider-Man. You know, because he was still a young kid back then.
Take that youthful, keep that youthful appearance.
Golly gee willikers. Yes, but oh goodness, good old Morbius. Yeah, so Jared Leto is being Morbius. Everyone's getting a redemption in 2020. That's my belief. I think that a lot of bad things have happened. And 2020 is the year, might take the whole year, but 2020 is the year where he's just going to turn it all around and say, you know what? Everyone gets to be happy now. And we will get rid of the bad stuff and the good stuff will come forth. And we're going to have great superhero movies and great other things. And 2020 is the year of positive things.
I'm looking through the list of the stuff you sent me this week. You know what else? What other announcement we got? MCU wise, isn't the rumor that Christian Bale is playing an alien villain in Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh, okay. I actually were going to go the other one, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, cool.
Well, it depends who it is. If it's somebody we know.
Well, you know, people have said, well, I guess that means he's not being Beta Ray Bill. It's like, do people know the story of Beta Ray Bill?
Their first appearance, they fought.
Exactly, you know. Well, they only fought for a little bit, and then he picked up the hammer, and Thor said, "Oh, I see you're worthy." You know, but it's like technically he's a villain, and we don't know Beta Ray Bill's story in the MCU.
Yes,
because that's the real thing about it is that in the MCU, Beta Ray Bill, you know, first off, we've seen Beta Ray Bill on Scar.
Yes,
so we see that he was one of the great warriors of Scar, who likely won his freedom at some point. You know, so in this world, he may be kind of villainous and he may be kind of a bad guy because he's Beta Ray Bill and he is a noble warrior and he's like Conan the Barbarian, you know, noble, but also
got a chip on his shoulder,
and angry as at the whole cosmos because his people have been lost to him. And that was his whole thing. He was like the one survivor of where he was like the defender of his species because they were all in like hypersleep as they were looking for a new planet, which seems like that's way more work than it should be in this universe. But you know, I guess you always got to find the right planet because you don't want to go to a planet that has some other sentient life in that you now have to war with. Have to make sure it has no diseases that will completely ravage you because you have no immunities to it, and then you have to make sure that it's not a planet that Galactus is going to eat in 2 weeks anyway. So you know. I guess maybe it's a lot harder than it looks, and so I can see the frustration that poor old Beta Ray Bill is going through. So, yeah. Now, what's interesting is, if he is Beta Ray Bill, how do you handle the worthiness question? Because the entire reason why Beta Ray Bill and Thor stopped fighting was because he picked up the hammer. He picked up the hammer and Thor saw that he was worthy. But Stormbreaker doesn't have the worthiness question associated with it.
Yeah, but is Mjolnir coming back? Because what's Jane Foster going to use?
Well, that's the question. So Mjolnir could be coming back. There's lots of stuff in the air, man. Like I said, I just want to see, old Steve Rogers going there, picking up all the pieces of Mjolnir from Iceland. And, so there you go, guys. Where do you want me to put this stuff? Because you can lift it. It makes sense. Anyway. No, the actual thing I thought you were going to go to there is, of course, Sam Raimi.
Oh, yes.
Rumored to be directing Doctor Strange. And what's weird about this is how prevalent this story is. This is the most publicized story I have seen in years. And I don't know if that's because it has truth to it. Because I started reading the articles, and nowhere does it say Marvel says they're in talks. And I don't even see that Sam Raimi says they're in talks. It's just someone said Sam Raimi's in talks to direct the Multiverse of Madness, and suddenly everyone said, yes, that's who must do it. And the entire internet culture started just memeing and sharing this idea that Sam Raimi is doing this. And I have no reason to think this is based on anything at all. Anything from Marvel, anything from Sam Raimi's people. It looks like this is all rumor and innuendo, which doesn't mean it's not true, but it's just interesting that it is blown up so big with no official statement from anyone.
Do you think it's just because, he did those Spider-Man movies?
Well, he did the Spider-Man movies. He did Evil Dead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Marvel-wise,
He's pretty big in the mythos of, in the mythos, in the mythosphere.
Oh, yeah.
In all the fandom, Sam Raimi is one of those guys. Oh, yeah. You want to go through his list of accomplishments. You've got Evil Dead. You've got the Spider-Man films. You've got Xena, Warrior Princess. You've got Oz the Great and Powerful, which was a big thing that Disney put a lot of money in. It lost a lot of money, but I don't think it was because of Sam Raimi. I think most people would say Sam Raimi did a great job with that film. And honestly, I liked it. I don't know what everyone else's problem was, except that, sometimes people just don't want to see another Wizard of Oz film.
Well, when you remake stuff how many times, it's like, well, what new can you bring to the thing?
And it's a backstory, but there's already a backstory in Wicked, so it's like, so all right there you got people who are saying, well, this isn't the Wicked backstory. This is a completely different backstory, And I don't want to say unfortunately, because I actually love her as an actress. They had Mila Kunis in it, who for some reason has real bad luck with film. And I don't know why, because I like her in everything she does.
Mm-hmm.
I love her in Family Guy. I love her in everything she's ever done. But for whatever reason, when she makes a big, I think maybe it's that she does a lot of big blockbuster films, and big blockbuster films do have a habit of failing. So it may just be that she just lucked, sort of like Ted McGinty, it's not that he curses shows, it's just that he shows up at shows that tend to be falling apart when he gets there, and he actually manages to carry it over the goal line, but then it says, that went bad when Ted McGinty showed up. It's like, no, this was doing badly for years. Ted McGinty is actually the guy that's trying to carry the dead corpse of this show a little further. Don't blame poor old Ted McGinty on this. So yeah, I do think that Mila Kunis is the Ted McGinty of blockbuster film. A fantastic actress who does what she can, but it's just a high stakes industry, and not everything's going to work out the way you want it to.
All right, and I was going to say, and let's not forget, I was looking at the list, Sam Raimi directed another superhero masterpiece, the original Darkman movie.
Oh yeah, well that's just goes without saying, Darkman. One of the first really big superhero films, superhero franchises, even. All original concept, if I recall.
But I think it was like, wasn't around like 1990? I think it was like riding that Batman popularity, kind of, sort of.
It wasn't based on a comic book. It was a superhero created for film.
Yes.
Unlike like Puma Man or other superheroes created for film who didn't do quite as good. We love you, Puma Man. Where are you when we need you now? More than ever. Oh, goodness, Philip. Yeah, so that's a lot of stuff. Want to talk some comic books?
Sure.
Let's talk bad parenting and pedophile cults first.
Okay.
Which is, of course, Fantastic Four versus X-Men.
Yes.
First off, the mutants on Krakoa could not seem creepier.
Oh, yeah, especially Xavier. Yeah.
Magneto, too.
Well, you expect it from Magneto. I mean, at this point. I
know, but man, get the man a Klan's robe already. It's like, good God, we are the superior beings. You humans will live on our world. It's like, goodness.
Didn't you live through the Nazi occupation? You should be the last guy doing this, pulling this stuff.
And again, it's a clone of Magneto because now they're all clones because they're all dead and it's all been cloned 100 times by some dude named Mr. Sinister. Which is, why does nobody mention that? It's like, dude, you're working with Mr. Sinister. Someone should really say, Charles Xavier, look, I trust you. You're a good friend, but you're working with Mr. Sinister. He's not even a mutant.
I know.
Did it strike you at any point in your mutant utopia that you're working with a guy who's not a mutant, is a supervillain, and has a habit of manipulating people for evil clone style as you're cloning all the mutants?
It's the egos. They think, oh, we can use Mr. Sinister for our own ends. He can't betray us. We're too smart for that.
Oh my gosh. I love you, Hickman. And honestly, for what it's worth, I think you're telling a great story. And maybe I'm the only guy. Maybe I'm just that one lone voice in the wilderness saying, maybe he wasn't the best choice, but I think that's the intentional choice. Like, yeah, obviously.
Oh, wait. Hey, Hickman's not the writer on this issue.
Oh, well, but it's in his.
Yeah. In his world.
I know. This is Zdarsky.
Yes.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Is he a friend of the show?
Well, he's never been on, but I would. He can be the friend of a show. He can come on. We could talk.
Well, we had him on once. We interview so many things.
I wish we had him on, man. I got some Spider-Man and Daredevil questions for Mr. Zdarsky.
Yeah. Anyway, but so yes, I do know Chip Zdarsky. But he is in Hickman's universe, and again, and for what it's worth, he is playing up that creepiness quotient.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't know, and like, is it just me, or is Xavier always wearing like a skin tight black leotard with the like weird old can't see my eyes mask?
Yeah, I think since this whole house,
he's like not wearing. He used to wear like a nice taupe suit. And at least that worked for him.
I think in the one issue X-Men, when they met with like some foreign leaders at some conference, he put on a suit. But yeah, I think he's taken off that helmet maybe exactly once since this whole House of X thing started. So
yeah, that's not good. That's not good. It's like these are like classic supervillain warning signs. Oh God! But again, this is why Reed Richards is like, no, son, I don't want you to run to the island of I don't want you to run to Pleasure Island to get turned into a donkey by Mr. Sinister. And I actually, yes, behind your back, I altered your DNA so that you can't go through the Krakoa case. Because I knew you probably are a impetuous child will run to the Krakoa gates and just like Pinocchio get turned into a donkey by Mr. Sinister. I'm trying to prevent you from being turned into a donkey, but you know what? As Geppetto learned, sometimes you gotta let your kid get turned into a half donkey.
Well, especially
before they learn to do the right thing.
Well, especially since Franklin's not feeling too trustworthy of Reed right now, anyway. Because Reed's like, "Oh, I'm trying to help fix your powers," and later with Ben, Franklin's like, "How come this guy who can invent anything, fix anything in the universe, the only two problems he can't fix are you and me?"
Yeah, but as far as Ben knows, we know the reason why.
Yeah.
Because Ben doesn't want to be fixed.
Yeah, but as far as we know, Franklin wants to be fixed.
Does he?
I don't know, as far as we know, but
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about it is like, you know, so and to tie it into Ben. Now we all know my theory on Ben, and I've written stuff on this, and it doesn't exist anymore because I mostly wrote it on the Marvel fan pages. But back when Marvel had a chat, remember when you used to be able to go into a company's website and they'd have a whole list that
bulletin boards, chat rooms, yeah,
bulletin board. Back in my day, we had bulletin boards. But you know, the entire idea is that, you know, it's hard to walk away from power, and what you have with Franklin is the exact opposite of Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Ben can't ever walk away from power. So he has this mental block that keeps him from turning into Ben Grimm.
Yes.
Or turning back to his human form, because on many levels he is afraid to walk away from the power, and likewise he is desperately afraid to ever. He's afraid to walk away from the power, but he's also afraid to just to change back and forth. He's afraid to change back and forth because he doesn't want his thing form to become a monster.
Yes.
Like the Hulk. He doesn't want to be the Hulk. He sees what has happened to Bruce by changing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
He sees what doing that duality causes. It causes the beings to be extreme. And he doesn't want to do that. And I think She-Hulk's working through that right now. Where in her mind she's herself, but outside she's the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that this idea that if you transform a lot, you're going to have a hard time being who you are ever. And that's why the Future Foundation created the special mixture that lets you be a human, but only for 24 hours, Ben. Only for 24 hours, so that he never has to feel guilty about it. Right now, Franklin is losing his powers because if he loses his powers gradually, he can be like, oh man, I'm going to have to be a normal human. And isn't that awful? When in the end, that's kind of what he always wanted, was a normal life. And he's being petulant about it because on some level he doesn't want it, but at the same time, in the same way that Ben doesn't really ever want to stop being strong and powerful, at the same time, there's a part of Franklin that just wants to get away. So I think you have the same kind of mental block in Franklin, but it's pushing him towards just being Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he winds up on the boat with Kitty, and they're like, no, now we're caught in a storm and we're going to go save some refugees, you know. And, you know, as Ben says, you know, I don't see a real good idea of my godson going to a new Genosha. Because for what it's worth, Genosha was sold as, you know, the mutant haven, you know, back in the day. Which again, should be a warning sign that Mr. Sinister has such a notable presence in this universe, you know, in this place, you know. The guy whose entire gig is manipulating mutant DNA is suddenly the guy in charge of rebuilding all the mutants when they die, including Professor Xavier. How do you trust the guy? Not even a mutant. Anyway.
So is Doom's like, yeah, if anyone's going to use this kid, it's going to be me.
Oh, yeah. So Doom shows up because he is the Fantastic Four kid.
Yes.
And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Doom has his own book out this week. Did you read that?
No, I didn't read it yet.
It's good. It actually is a really interesting, especially just the popping in and out of Kang throughout the whole thing. And Doom sort of trying to find his way to find, because, you know, it's interesting because it kind of parallels the Rick and Morty episode we saw recently of, you know, when Morty gets the death crystal that lets him see his own death. He sees there's one death where Jessica is like telling him that he's loved and she loves him and yada, yada, yada as he dies. And that's the death he wants. And he makes all these choices to try and get to that death, only to realize at the end that he had made the wrong choice. And that's basically what's going on with Doom. This whole arc is that he's trying to get to this future he keeps on having visions of, where he's happy and married to this lady. Then he meets the lady and she's like, Yeah, you put my father in prison when I was 13 years old. I hate you. I hate everything about you. And, like, well, I must have been feeling really, merciful if I only put him in prison for daring to speak against me. It's like, dude, could you be any more toxic as a human being? Dr. Doom. He just really does not let. He is so much Otto without the education. It's like Dr. Doom is such a. He is the anti-Otto.
Uh-huh.
Otto is so awesome compared to Doom.
Hey,
but that's my opinion.
Hey, did you read Immortal Hulk Great Power?
No.
It was a one-shot. I liked it. And again, on the first page, it says the story takes place before Immortal Hulk 14, so it's back in the good days.
So wait, is this... Oh, so this is actually a continuity story?
Yeah.
Spider Hulk's a thing?
Well, yeah. Well, it opens up like Banner and Bruce Banner and Spider-Man wake up in this crater in the middle of the street, and they're like, what happened? And it's like Banner's like, it's night. It's his time. Why am I Banner? And then all of a sudden, Peter hulks out and takes off, and we see Banner go to a payphone and call for help. Calls the Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a non-continuity story.
No. Because they're trying to piece it together. Because even at one point, like the Fantastic Four know who Peter is, but Bruce Banner doesn't know that Peter's Spider-Man. Because Banner's even like, should Spider-Man be in this brainstorming session? And Sue's like, hang on, and he shows how smart he is, and they eventually piece it together. Who do you think took the gamma out of the Hulk, trying to help, but then it ended up being attracted, I guess, to the radioactivity in Spider-Man? Who tried to help? Who tried to be a hero? Loki.
Oh, Loki?
Yeah, Loki, yeah.
Loki did this.
He's like, I tried to fix the Hulk. I'm a hero now. I do this kind of thing.
Oh, Loki.
But Loki's magic can't undo it. So I don't know. Finally Bruce is like, yeah, the Hulk absorbs energy now. So they kind of give, I guess, Banner a low level gamma charge to turn him into a smaller Hulk. But he eventually absorbs all the gamma out of Spider-Man.
I don't think that's how any of this works. But okay.
I know.
Mean, it works in comics, but it's honestly, the physics in comics is. Yeah. Last week we didn't get to talk about it, but Spider-Ham was out, and there's a whole thing where Spider-Ham is dealing with Reed Richards, and he opens the watch and he sees the bee on her, and he's like, I'm out. I don't even know what your physics are, and it's as if Reed Richards' physics were so much more logical.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
no, but the interesting thing about the Hulk here, because remember Spider-Man did a whole mind wipe on everybody, so no one remembers who he is, and then he told certain people like the Fantastic Four and stuff. So Banner doesn't remember who he is. And then at the end, Nightfall's coming, so Spider-Man's like, I'll stay with you, Bruce. And then he hulks out, and first thing the Hulk turns to him and goes, "What are you doing, Peter?" And Spider-Man's like, just giving you a hug. He's like, wait a minute, did you just call me Peter? And Hulk says, you made everyone forget who you are. Banner forgot, but I don't forget.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, but...
which again goes to Mephisto's lack of specificity and stuff he does.
Yeah, but then the Hulk's like, he's like, you stayed to be with Banner, right? And Spider-Man's like, yeah, and Hulk says, that's something I can't do. Banner's my family. I do anything for him, but I can't be with him. He's like, I'm glad you were. And he starts walking out into the ocean. He goes, you're a good man, Peter Parker. I'll try to remember that next time we meet.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
That's very sweet.
I'll try to remember not to hit you.
Yeah, you'll try.
I mean, it was decent. I know we've done Spider Hulk at least one other time before. Back in the 90s,
I didn't realize it was its own. For what it's worth, Marvel kind of hurt me with the whole Savage Avengers Zero.
Yeah,
thing.
They fooled me.
Yeah, I mean, I am gonna buy it because I always buy my books. I'm very anal about that kind of stuff.
I should have looked first, or I wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's like if they pull it, I feel like I gotta. If it got pulled from me, I'm like, oh, I'll buy it. Even if I told them to take it off my list and they pulled it anyway, I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. But I know I told you to stop pulling that. Because small business, you got to support. And yeah,
I mean, it's
so
basically it's only a couple few new pages because at the beginning, Doctor Strange comes to Krakoa and he's like, "Oh, I need to see Magic," and Kid Cable doesn't want to let him on, but Magic's like, "I'll talk to him," and Doctor Strange is like, "Oh, he's back." Kulan Garth, what's his name? Kulan Garth is back, and then they throw in I think it's Uncanny X-Men 190 and 191, and then at the end there's a couple other pages. Oh, he's coming! We have to stop him.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because Spider-Man was in it, so I wasn't sure. I didn't know if that was supposed because I always hope when you get these kind of flashback things that it's just drawn in the style.
No, it was the original pages.
Yeah, which I've never read that book, so maybe it's good, and I will get it. I will buy it. I will read it. Hopefully. But yeah, I just felt a little, and so when I'm looking at that, and then I see. The Immortal Hulk, Spider Hulk comes out because that normally would be the kind of thing I'd be into, but I'm like, I'm trying to watch my budget.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this really a book I want?
Like I said, the Immortal Hulk thing wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, and again, it's a one shot, so it's
Yeah. I mean, honestly, had I seen a page with Loki in it, I might have picked it up. That's probably what I was flipping through. Yeah, missed the Loki reference.
I was gonna say, read it digitally because Fantastic Four's in it, Loki's in it. I mean,
yeah, so that's good. Did you read Conan, the Serpent Crown?
No, that's the other one I didn't get to yet. I want to, though.
That is really interesting.
Nice.
Although, again, weird that, Mephisto's in it, and spoilers, basically says, yes, the barbarian will free me from this hotel. It's like, you've been in like 8 other books across the multiverse. Are you really stuck in this hotel? I mean... It's very confusing. Like
I know Mephisto. I thought Johnny Blaze was like getting him out of that hotel.
Well, I guess there's this idea that you could have in this.
There's multiple.
Where temporally, well, yeah. So obviously, Mephisto can travel through time.
Yes.
So it's entirely possible that all the Mephistos we have been seeing are Mephistos from before and after his imprisonment in the hotel. So it isn't that. So yes. Mephisto is stuck in the hotel, but his other self is bopping around the Omniverse at other points in the timeline outside of that, but he doesn't like being stuck in the hotel.
Or what if it's like Doctor Strange can't imprison a fully powered Mephisto, so he like splintered him into like different parts?
He has been splintered before because that's the whole Master Pandemonium.
Yeah, story. His soul, yeah.
That Franklin Richards basically... snapped Mephisto into 5, which is again crazy powerful for Franklin Richards, the impossible boy, which again is this thing that you realize if someone were to wish himself to be depowered, I could absolutely see it being Franklin Richards because he is the kid from, a nice place to live. He is the kid from the Twilight Zone. And he's afraid in himself that he's going to wish his mom into a cornfield and not be able to bring her back. He lives in constant terror. There was a really great point about this with Invisible Woman more recently in her little series where she's talking to the spy that she used to work with who would say, oh, you never made the choice to kill, or, you couldn't make the hard choice to kill. And he's like, you idiot, I make the choice every single day not to kill people.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would be so easy for me to kill every single one of you. And for what it's worth, we kind of see that when she's fighting Magneto here, where it's like, are you really going to mess with me, Magneto? You think your little magnet's power is impressive to me? It's like, really, really, Magneto, you're cute and all, but no. Which, I think that's probably why they played up that whole, we are the master race kind of thing, just so that when Sue Storm basically owned him, that, you're like, yeah, he kind of had it coming. He was being a real schmeck.
Yeah.
So I could totally see Quentin Richards feeling like, you know what, this power is too much, and I'm not ready for it. basically come to understand why his father put the mental dampeners on him. And I think if there's going to be an overarching story to Fantastic Four versus X-Men, it is going to be that, Franklin coming to terms with, I know why you're doing it, Dad. I know that you are in a position where you see so many things, and so many things are so dangerous, and you really do know what's best for people, but you also don't want to be this big jerk telling you, I'm telling you what to do, And he's just trying to protect you and help you guide you to where you want to be. Basically, Franklin Richards is, dealing with this person who is effectively omniscient in Reed Richards. Mm-hmm. And has to deal with, but Reed Richards doesn't want to tell Franklin, this is everything you have to know about life, because first off, Franklin wouldn't even be able to absorb it that quickly, And that's the idea, is that Reed is operating at this level that's a little bit beyond everybody else. And it's hard for him to try and be a nice guy when he knows that, his son is a walking atom bomb. But he also wants his son to actually be able to be his son and to live a life and not have to be burdened by the fact that he could accidentally kill everything in the universe. Mm-hmm. He could wish everything into the cornfield. That's a hard thing to realize and know that he doesn't want to just tell his son. He doesn't want to be like, Anna's parents in Frozen and saying, never do this, never touch things, never have emotions, don't be yourself. He wants to say, be yourself, just don't wish everything in the universe into a cornfield. So that's the hard life of Reed Richards. And Franklin Richards. And I think it's going to be a beautiful story, if they follow that trajectory, if that's where they're going. But that seems to be, I would guess, where they're going. And I think they're going to touch on all these ideas about how Ben really doesn't want to stop being the Thing. That's why he's the Thing. Mm-hmm. He'd like to be Ben for a little while, but he doesn't want to give up being the Thing, and he also doesn't want the Thing to be the monster. He wants Ben Grimm to be the Thing.
Yes.
And so Reed lets him. And Franklin doesn't want to be the monster either. And Reed is going to have to find a way to let Franklin be himself and not be the monster. And that's going to be the arc of the story. That's my theory, Philip. Anything else that was interesting this week? Oh, Black Cat.
I was going to say, quick. Black Cat, yeah.
The return of Patch.
Yeah, bub.
How many Wolverines are there?
Well, this is the original. He's back.
No, but he's also being Patch while he's drinking beer and Krakoa. I think there's like 6 of them now.
Oh, no, is it another 3 Jokers situation?
Well, hey, Mr. Sinister's involved. Why not?
True, cloning's involved, so.
Yeah, it's like, he's just got to insert enough adamantium into each one, No, because that's the thing. It's like, I can get that, Wolverine is out there, mm-hmm. and Wolverine was Patch, but then he comes in as Patch with the white tuxedo and the eye patch.
Nostalgia. He just likes doing it.
At the exact right time?
I don't know.
Either it's an LMD, which we're getting a lot of with, the whole Iron Legion or whatever it's being called. 2020. I give up. Quit milking Iron Man, okay? You killed Tony Stark in the movies. Let's focus on someone else now.
Yes, Slot.
Kids like the Iron Man. Maybe I'm wrong.
But no,
I know about a lot of things, so,
Yeah.
But just the idea that he is Patch. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not just that he's Wolverine and yes, I went by Patch to the point and this stuff I own. It's like, no, I'm coming in and I'm still Patch.
Yeah, but
I'm still maintaining this other life as this character Patch in this other Madripoorian storyline.
Yeah, but is Patch like his Clark Kent? I mean, especially now with the mutants being all high profile, it's like, is this like his Clark Kent? A place he can go relax and people aren't trying to attack him every 2 seconds?
Yeah. By the way, is that kid a kid? Is that like someone we know about?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what story he was from. Yeah, he showed up before. Yeah, he's a kid.
Okay. Because they stole his glasses from the last Spider-Man movie. Which means that freaking Felicia's gonna drain his bank accounts for a week for that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun fact: you can't actually do that. You can't actually drain someone's bank account because the banks are obliged by law. Now they could do it with his secret Swiss accounts, but those usually don't have online profiles because it's all done on numbers and papers expressly so that you can hide money easily. But so that's going to be fun.
I looked it up to refresh my memory. Yes, I remember this from a few years ago. Yeah, it's Cade Kilgore. He's the genius son of a weapons manufacturer, and he had a big plot to try to take over the Hellfire Club, and so
Oh, well, that's cool.
I'm trying to remember.
Is he Asian? They drew him. He looks very Asian. He's in Madripoor, so he might just be being drawn with a tan. I don't know, but.
Yeah, I think it might just be the style. I don't think so. I think it's just the style of the artwork. It looks, I don't know. It's not manga, but it kind of has a manga influence, I think, some of this artwork.
I just, it is what it is, but that was fun. He was cool. And I really enjoy Black Cat. I really do. And it's on the pull list, and I'm buying that. Paying good money for that book. Highly recommend everyone else read the Black Cat. He's fun.
And they're actually making the Black Fox an actual decent character instead of I'm an old man, don't hit me, Spider-Man.
Although man, see, I brought it up.
Oh no.
Felicia Hardy's from New York, right?
I believe so. Yes.
What did she call her soda?
Oh, did she call it Pop? Yeah.
New York girl wouldn't call it Pop. I'd call it Pop. No one would call it Pop.
Yeah.
Because we're from the Midwest. Felicia Hardy would not say, get your own Pop. You're pulling me out of the book there, guys. You're untying the knot.
Unless there's a story coming up that explains that. I don't know.
Oh, well, actually, I was raised in Iowa City, Missouri.
We moved to New York when I was 12.
Yes, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of Faygo. I grew up in Detroit. I don't know. Little did you know, the Hardys spent most of my formative years in Detroit until we moved to Manhattan, where I met Peter Parker in high school.
Oh.
Was it in high school?
No, they didn't meet in high school.
College then.
No, he met her as the Black Cat. She was a cat burglar.
Oh, I don't know. I thought, you know what? Nowadays in the movies.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is I never know. Because I wasn't a Spider-Man fan, I mostly read Spider-Man through back issues.
Yeah.
So sometimes he's in high school, sometimes he's in college. He's all over the place, man.
Yeah, I know.
Spider-Man has a very odd age range that he exists in. Weirder than everybody else.
Oh, yes.
And it's because, most other superheroes are, adults when they're superheroes. So they could be as old as Phil, they could be as old as me, they could be as old as Lilith. They could be much younger, and you wouldn't know, you just know that they got gray in their temples sometimes. But that can happen when you're very young. So I
was gonna say they hit 30, they get that gray in their temples.
Yeah. Well, and actually that was one of the things I loved best about the Fantastic Four movies. Not the bad one, but the good ones in the middle.
Yeah.
Was that basically, it was actually the radiation that bleached his hair on the temples.
Yes.
That was just part of his transformation. Yeah. But anyway, so that's that. That was the other thing. Yeah, I actually said that I thought that Christian Bale was going to be the Super Skrull.
Yes.
I thought it would be funny if it's he said, I have all the powers of all your friends' greatest heroes.
Who?
I don't recognize any of these powers. It's what? You've never heard of the Fantastic Four? Your friends' greatest heroes?
They would not do that.
How do you not know of these people? I really don't know. I'm an immortal god. I don't live on Earth, really, most of the time.
What did the Maximoff girl do?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Those wacky Maximoffs. Hey, maybe we're going to get Quicksilver back out of the whole deal, too.
Yeah, we got the rights back.
We see we're getting, Speed and Wiccan out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they did say that the young, handsome Skrull is going to be a love interest on the show.
That's right.
So, I do think you're going to get the whole idea of Billy coming out to his mom, and it's I don't care that you're gay, but how can you marry a Skrull? We marry humans in this family. Don't be so planetist, Mom.
You have to talk to his Uncle Pietro.
Yeah, it's like, darling, I'm an android and you love me. Maybe a son can love a Skrull.
They're not all bad.
There you go. It's beautiful. It's not like they're a gypsy or anything. They used to use gypsies a lot for, like, racism,
Yes.
pastiches in the 50s. So it's a thing. Back when you couldn't really talk about, like, actual African-American racism, you talked about gypsies. There weren't a lot of gypsies in America at the time.
No.
But anyway. Although there actually probably were. They just, weren't a public thing.
No.
Anyway, moving right along now that I've lost, like, 800 likes. I think that's everything, folks. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we hit everything.
We did everything, and Tristan is on his way back. So there we go.
Playing the harmonica.
Perfect timing. Philip, if people would like to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Well, if you would like to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. And get a hold of Capes and Lunatics, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. And the voicemail is 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
Wonderful. And, of course, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers and the Maximoff clan did many, many years ago, you can do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which they promise me is coming back someday, at CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another fun-filled, fantastic-packed episode of Super Connectivity. Thank you for connecting with us this week. Please super connect with us again next. Good night.
Good night.
We covered a lot, folks.
Yes, we did.
And it all worked out nicely. Perfect timing. I like that.
That's right. Tristan's walking home playing that harmonica.
No. The mom is driving him home, I assume.
I know.
Unless they live close by, I don't know.
Jokes, people, jokes.
They don't know. They didn't hear the first part of the story.